This is not a quick speed shot. We're back working on the 40 Mercury. You can see it's bumper time here. I've got a 41 Ford bumper with bumper guards. We're mocking it up here, making a license plate mount, an overrider system. I got to build custom bumper irons and get this rear bumper mounted up on the car. Stay tuned, we're going to get into it right now. I'm a professional, don't try this at home. This is long-term bumper storage. I think it's in here. Where are they? Oh, they're not in here. It smells deep. Oh, here they are. I had them in outside storage. Oh, smart. Aha. This is the front bumper. Here's the rear bumper. Okay, I'm going to start off here with this 41 Ford bumper that we're putting on the car. Right here, I guess it's a standard bumper. It's got some bumper guards on it, factory bumper guards. It's pretty straight. It's got a couple little wahs in it. It got pushed on the bumper guards, and it's got a little suck to the bumper here on both sides. But I think I can use my hydraulic press and press it out pretty easy. But the first thing I'm working on here is these bumper irons. Now the framework on the car is 40 inches to the inside of the frame, so I'm going to need the bumper irons to be at least that narrow. And right now they are 41.5, then they go up in an angle to like 43. So they're going to be too wide, so I either need to fabricate new bumper irons, or I'm thinking I might be able to take these and switch them side to side and see how the angle works out for where it mounts onto the frame. But if I switch them side to side, it'll bring them in board a lot. These are, on these old cars, these bumper irons are spring steel, so it actually runs like a bumper, like in the classical sense of the word bumper. You could bump into it with a car with another bumper, and these spring steel bumper irons would give like a leaf spring, and you would have some crash protection with your car with the bumpers. So I've been juicing these for a little while. Hopefully they can come out. Might have to get some heat out, but let's try it and see. It's kind of awkward to hold on to. Whoa! Oh, oh yeah! Oh, it's going! It's going! There we go. Bam! These bolts are fine thread. Fine thread bolts usually tend to come apart pretty easy, even if they're severely rusted, like these are. But we got some juice on here, and she's coming off no problem. Aha! There we go. Bam! There's your chrome plating from the bumper right there. She's off there. I'm going to end up using these bumper guards. I'm going to have to grind the chrome off them, but I'm going to end up welding, well, I'll show you later, but the way I'm going to mount the plate, I'm going to make an overrider out of these with a bar through the center and hang a license plate fixture. So we're going to reuse these, so I'll set this aside. That pulled the iron off. I just want to get an eyeball here before we go too far. What if we flip these around? So that gets me way out of, that moves the, from here, that moves the arm way inside. But if I go to the other side, what does that do for me? Well, it moves the attachment point in, but this angle is way off now. Ha! More chrome plating. Alright, so there's our rear bumper. This rear one says Ford on it. I don't know if you can sight down this. Let's see. You can see, yeah, it's got a couple of whoop-de-doos right where those bumper guards are. But I think we can put it in the press and straighten it out. I'll have to try that pretty soon. Now I got both those off there. Ah, shoot. That makes for a really oddball angle of the irons doing that. Okay, now I got the bumper mocked up here and about where it's going to go in the car. I've kind of built the overrider. I bolted the what do you call them, bumper guards back on with some regular bolts, and I've created this overrider. Just smashed a piece of conduit down and taped it on here, taped the plate on here. The top tube will probably be a little bit bigger diameter than this, but you get the idea here. We're just kind of mocking her up as we go. But I got the bumper kind of like measured up where it's got to be. Those bumper irons, every which way I flipped them, aren't going to work for how I'm going to make them. So I'm going to make new ones out of heavy gauge 2-inch flat stock, probably like 3/16 or 1/4 inch. I'll probably have one go straight in and tie it in the car, come straight out. Then I'm going to have a bracket that bolts to the bumper at a curve, and then I might, just for optics, make 2 small curve pieces to like mimic a stock bumper iron. But it'll be a lot easier just to run them straight into the frame, make some tabs and mount this bumper. Don't pay attention to the tailpipe lengths. They're different lengths because they're going to be trimmed off like about, I don't know, 1/2 inch past the bumper when I get everything mocked up. We're just eyeballing her up now. But it's going to be a good height. I like the overrider being like right level the deck lid. But this is a real late 40s, early 50s look you see on these cars. A lot of times they wouldn't even have the taillights in the body. They would put a real small lens right in the bumper guard itself, and that'd be your taillights. And that'd be something to do with this car if it didn't have these molded in taillights. If it had like bolt-on ones, could take the taillights off and just have them right in the bumper guard. But you got to be careful. There's a lot of, back then there wasn't as much traffic and it wasn't driving as fast. And if you had tiny little lights down here, even if you used LED technology, that's a pretty small location to put a brake light, especially nowadays modern day traffic. So I want to leave the big lights here in the body. I mean, they're all smooth and flush, and you don't really see them, and they kind of look like 41 Studebaker tail lights. So I kind of like that. So we're going to leave them right in the body, but the bumper guard is going to be similar to this here, and the bumper height to the exhaust is going to be a good height. Once I get these cut off, I might put like chrome pencil tips on here. I'm not sure about that. But I like the look of it. I think it's going to be great. I'm going to fill in the recess in the roll pan behind here, just with a bolt-in panel. It'll be painted black, so it could be taken out later if necessary. But I've got the bumper about 4 inches away from the body. It looks pretty good. I like the look of it. I'm just getting an eyeball here. I'm getting excited. I think I like the look. Tell me what you guys think, but I think it's going to be good. So, what's our next step? I don't know. I'll figure it out in a second. Okay, so I got to fix the bumper here, straighten the bumper out before we can make the bumper irons. So I got my cheap junk Harbor Freight tubing bender, and I put the bumper in it. Here I had to spread it out a little bit, just threw some bolts through here. But I got where the bend is marked, and I think I can just jack it up and then bend this bumper right back into shape with some hydraulic action. I think it'll work. Oh, it's working. Mint! Mint! Okay. Give me the bumper back. It was working. I might have to do it a couple times here. I didn't want to overbend it, but it appears to be working. Oh. That did it. Man, that put her right back into shape. That's good. Bam, awesome. Okay, now that the bumper's straightened out, I'm going to make the mounts to mount onto the bumper. I've got some flat stock here. It's 1.5 inches wide. It's almost 1/4 inch thick. So I'm just going to take and put a little bit of bend in these, and they're going to bolt right flat to the 2 bumper holes, right to the bumper. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the hydraulic press out once again, and I'm just going to, you know, put the things out here and just jack it, bend it just a little bit, and make the curve to go in here. And then the bumper irons, they go to the car, we'll just weld right onto this, and then we'll still be unbolt the bumper and unbolt the irons separately. There we go. Got a curve onto her there. I put a little too much into it. I'm going to take the hammer on the flat edge I got over there. I'm just going to hammer these back out a little bit, and I'll just work it until I get the fit. So I'm going to work on that. When I get it all set, we'll come back and we'll drill some holes and we'll mount these up on here. Okay, got the steel bolted onto the bumper. It fits real nice. I just used a couple of regular bolts because I don't have the proper bumper bolts now. I put 5/8 holes in them. The bumper bolts are like, I think they're, pretty sure they're 1/2 inch. That'll give me a little bit of adjustment to move the bumper around a little bit on the irons. But now they're both on there, we're going to go over and go on the car. I'm going to set the bumper back up on the exhaust, get it all leveled up and what do you call it? Get it all trued up. True that! Get the bumper all trued up here, and then it's going to be time, I think, to try to figure out where to blow the holes through the tail pan. That's going to be the exciting part. Don't want to screw it up. Alright, bam, here we go. I got the bumper mocked up where it's got to be, leveled all up, and I've measured it to the car a whole bunch of times, so I got it where I want it to be. I got it like precariously perched with all this nonsense here. But what I've been working on is the angle, the dangle for the bumper guards. I got a little piece of cardboard here cut out, and I'm just trying to figure out where to cut the hole here, because the iron on the inside has got to come through and it's going to mount on top of this cross member here with a piece of angle iron to bolt to. So I'm just trying to guesstimate, and it's a little guesstimation because I can't, it's hard to like eyeball through there, but I think I got a spot picked out. I got it drawn up on this tape here. I'm going to be using the 1.5 inch stock, just like made the piece out of, so I'm going to cut a 2-inch hole to go through there. I have factory rubbers that go over the bumper irons that will seal the hole up, and they're pretty big, so if I need to file the hole a little bit one way or the other once I get it cut, I'll be able to do that, no problem. But I think I got a good plan laid out here. I'm going to take this hole saw, and we're going to hole saw through the sheet metal. There's a little bit of body filler in here, so I put this tape on here to try to hold it together. It's going to be real precarious to try to do it, but I think it's going to work out. Don't be scared, it's just metal. That's what I tell myself, don't be scared. So look at that, bam. Cut those holes right in there, no problem. So now, So now I got my longer bar stock here. So I'm just going to cut this in half for now, and we'll trim it to length later, but that's going to come right through there, and mount up to the top of this cross member with a piece of angle iron. Okay, bam, check this out. I got the bumper irons in there, and they simply weld to, or I simply welded on a bracket here to the cross member, and then bolted on the bumper barts, the 2 3/8 bolts, and then I'm going to make another bracket that's going to come off here and triangulate this to take some of the flex out of this. I went to the steel yard the other day and I got a whole bunch of these blanks. They had them cut out, and I got some of these blanks, and I got some triangles the other day. But you never know when you're going to need shapes, and these worked out good. They already had the holes drilled in them and everything. So now I'm ready to set the bumper back up. I've already measured out the brackets are 3 3/8 from the tail pin of the car, both sides. So I just got to get the bumper set back up into place, square it all up, line it all up, and then I can tack the bumper steel to the bumper irons, and essentially I'll have the bumper on the car then. Or bam, there we go. Got it all. It's tacked both sides here. The bumper's on there nice and good. You can see it's got a little side-to-side shake, so I am going to make that bracket in here to tie this, to buffet it up. And I'm also going to probably bend up a piece of the round stock and mimic a stock iron come around here to pick up the corner of the bumper, because this will be super soft out here. But check it out. Got the plate and the mounts, the what do you call them, the bumper guards back on here, so I can start thinking about how I'm going to build this overrider plate mount setup. And I also need to, now with the bumpers on, cut the tailpipes off. I'll use some kind of straight edge and probably come out like a 1/4 inch past the bumper and lop the pipes off, so they don't stick out super far like they are now. But I'm happy with the way it came out. I got the little holes there for the bumper irons. And when I get ready, I've got reproduction 41 Ford bumper hole covers. They'll go on there, and they'll make a gasket to the body and cover up that iron hole there. I ordered up 4 of these reproduction, 2 for the back and 2 for the front. So those will look good on there. But this is coming out awesome. I know the car is way up in the air right now, but things on the ground, the bumper is going to be way down about here, like 10 inches off the ground, so it's going to look a lot lower and cooler. We'll step back for a far away shot. You can see what it's going to look like. If you can envision it being on the ground, I think it's going to be awesome. So I'm super stoked the way this came out. It's looking awesome. I always love, I think that every 39 to 40 Mercury needs a bumper on it. I mean, this is cool, like when it had the rolled pan and stuff, like street roddy, but I'm going for my period look. I'm going for this car is 57 to 64 with the chrome reverse wheels that go on it, and the 41 Ford bumpers. It's kind of like this car was customized in like 48, 49, 50, and then updated later with a small block Chevy and a fancy paint job in the late 50s, 58, 59, something like that. So it fits to the look of the car I'm going with, and it's something cool. I love these 41 Ford bumpers. You always saw them on early customs. They're super hard to find that are in nice shape. These are obviously a little worse for wear, but I'm going to get them sandblasted and then fill all the pits in them and paint them like a argent silver. Just be painted bumpers on here. But I'm going to love the look. I'm going to make the overrider here next time. I'll be working on that. Try to fab up something with a license plate light in it and get the plate mounted up here. But I'm super happy with the way it came out. The mounts are awesome. Once I make some extra additions to it, it'll stiffen it right up. And then we're almost done fabbing on the back of this car. I just got to put a little bit more metal in the trunk floor, and then I got want to go try to get a back seat to put in the back seat area. And after that, pretty much be able to start breaking this thing down, cleaning it up, painting everything all up on the back of the car, and then setting it down, rebuild the rear end, rebuild the rear brakes, get the brake lines run, and pretty much button up the back of the car. And then I got some work to do on the front for future videos. Got to take the transmission out, put new control arms on the front, new brakes on the front. So still got a long ways to go on the 40 Mercury, but spring's coming, so I want to get it done so we can go out and be cruising. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again at the Quick Speed Shop.